Uber to the other side of the board.
It's kind of funny because we're taught in endgames you kind of want the pawns together, but in opposite colored bishops endgame you actually want them as far apart as possible, to a point. Yeah, that's a very nice conversion from Magnus, and 5.5 to half is the score here.
That's a very important point, and there's the Russian chess term штаны, trousers, pants, which refer to pawns on opposite sides of the board. It is the most terrifying possibility in the endgame when you have any piece. No piece is good at stopping pawns on the A and H files, not even a bishop. The bishop gets overloaded, the knight is limited by its range of motion. Another endgame conversion by Carlsen. Man, you just can't catch a break.
Important to note, Magnus has not gone back to the Spanish. He felt the power of Min's preparation in that first game, and he hasn't returned. He's opting for an Italian, much more slow maneuvering game. Italian, I don't know how you feel about the Italian. I don't know if you play the Italian with white, but I don't understand those positions at all. And it's very trendy right now, all these Italians and structures, and I mean, I am fascinated by the cornucopia of options, to take a word out of your,
That's
lexicon.
a good word.
So, it's a very fascinating and deep opening, but boy, is it complicated.
I'm sure Suzanne Collins and Katniss Everdeen approved of that one. But I'm with you, Levy. I played the Italian, a story about it, but the way that it's being played now, not only do I find it scary to even approach, but I don't understand hypothetically how you learn any of the moves. And that's because the amount of move orders in the Italian, how do you write a course on it? How do you write a book on it? I mean, you play a completely different sequence of moves, and then on move 15, you transpose to a line that starts out completely differently. And by minute 5 of studying it, you need like an Advil, and you don't want anything to do with this opening. I'm really impressed at the way that these top players are able to keep information sorted in their mind, and play the Italian with a tremendous amount of finesse.
I will just quickly point out that the Magnus Carlsen win probability graph is looking like an airplane taking off. It got to 10,000 feet, the Wi-Fi turned on, unless you're on a Spirit Airlines flight, and then it cruised for a bit, and now it is going up to 37,000. And it's still only 91%. They're still giving Min a 9% chance, which is he's got to get going on this comeback quickly. He likes these positions with the knight on g6. Yeah, he had that similar in the Spanish, the first game. So
Levy, you're wrong about one thing. If you're 600 tells you, I thought there was a win there because I had more pieces on the king side, you just kind of laugh and you tell them, well, yeah, you really need to put the emphasis on concrete calculation. If Kasparov says that, you understand that that's a really profound statement because it's underpinned by, no pun intended, it's underpinned by 20 years, 30 years of chess experience at the elite level. So when a top GM makes a general chess statement, you're like, wow, they really must know chess at a crazy level to be able to say that, because they're right like 99% of the time.
Absolutely. Having said all of that, position is still very much in the balance, as we see here Magnus taking some time. I don't know about you, but I hate positions like this where I have a knight standing in front of my king side, ready to strike. I'm very bad at handling this sort of kingside pressure. I don't know how to deal with that knight. I want to get rid of it, but you just can't. And you have to focus on your strengths. Like, are we looking at a queen b6? Are we looking at a d7? Are we looking at knight e5?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's a lot of candidate moves here, and I think the move in Magnus's pocket is probably knight takes e5. Does that lead to a bailout? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Because Min, you don't like this though. Bishop b7, maybe? This feels very scary.
Yeah, it does. Again, the knight on f4 just sort of spell struck. Maybe White should have played king h2 a while ago to try to play g3. I don't know, but I don't know where the tactic is. I mean, is it queen g5 just threatening a mate?
In a bullet game, I would play bishop b7 just to try to keep all options open. Maybe the correct approach is queen g5, but yeah, bishop b7.
Bishop b7, and you can't move the knight. You want to go knight c6, but you can't do that. f3 would be his idea, but then queen g5 is coming?
Yeah, if you have to play f3, that is potentially a catastrophic weakening of the king side. Knight g4, again, this resource, it exists, but still the queen sidesteps the attack, and let's not forget the g2 pawn will then be hanging once again. Magnus finally down on the clock, and of course he finds just a ridiculous move that saves the day.
Bishop b3 is crazy. And with a plan after knight g2, look, middle-aged, he can't believe it. He didn't even consider this move. And he plays knight g2. Where's the queen going?
B6, what is the idea?
Wow, knight g4!
No way. No way he plays this.
Queen g3 is so much more natural, right? But it's maybe bad.
Queen g3 is bad because black takes on e1, white takes on e6, and at the end I think black is able to just liquidate this pawn on d6, and black will be a pawn up. Magnus, seconds ticking down. Does he see the move?
I mean, knight g4.
He might lose this one.
He's got 3 seconds on the clock. 2, he's got to make a move.
He's got to move. He's frozen. And he flags. He doesn't see a move.